Hey everybody, welcome back to Elijah Talks podcast. I'm here with Miss Brianna Skipwith. How are you today?
I'm well and yourself.
Good, good, good. I'm super excited, because it's not every day you get to talk to people that is a good conversationalist. I tend to be using that words on my podcast, and just for giggles, this is kind of like our fifth take because has some technical difficulty. But that's okay. We're professionals, right? All right. Okay. No, but it really means a lot that you're here with me because a lot of people really do yearn for just wholesome content
Yeah.
where they don't have to be. We know what it's like because I don't like all that cussing and the carrying on. Personally, I really do just like just a conversation, where it's not an interview. A lot of y'all, it's going to be a little sidebar, but a lot of people may have a misunderstanding because everybody's different, right? And I want to kind of take you to school. We're going to get to the point, and I know exactly where I want to go first
Okay.
on our discussion. But with every person that you speak with, it's a different experience. You know what I'm saying? Some people are more like when some people are introverted, they're introverted in all the aspects, even in conversations. So you kind of have to walk a person through conversation. And some people you just you want to seesaw. It's a fair exchange. And so that's why I want to express it's not an interview because some of you think that I should shut up more, and it's a conversation.
Yikes.
And it's true. And it is true because it's important to listen to one another. But I encourage you, if you desire to start a podcast, it is a try a conversational route because a conversation is where it's not just performing for the camera; it's you get something out of it.
Right.
Because while I'm sitting, every guest I've sat with, they've taught me something, and I'm able to get corrected and also educate, and we can kind of kick each other's ideas back and forth, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, like the difference of opinion. I love difference of opinion because somewhere in between it challenges your perspective.
Yes.
And when your perspective is challenged, then your mind gets broadened.
Yes.
And then that's the opportunity for growth.
Exactly.
And you always want to grow. Well, you should always want to
should.
grow. So yeah, I love it. I love it because I love when people like make my brain just expand like even more. And it like I'll think about it later and I'll be like,
right.
So this is what they was talking about. Let me call them, and because then you know how like when you talking to somebody and you're like, oh, I wish I should have said that when they was talking, but it just sit with you. And I love when things sit with me and I can like ponder on it.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And that actually leads me to the kind of first point I wanted to talk about a little bit about. I'm a, as they say in Jamaica, like, big up yourself, because that basically mean like I'm a big supporter on what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? And I love your anecdotes on Facebook and the photos you share because I'm a fashion guy. Like I love female fashion, male fashion. Is it really most people can tell when somebody's stylish. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate good style now. You don't make modesty look like boring. Because some people's interpretation is boring, and that's a matter of education. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Or and to add to that, a lot of your content seems centered around women empowerment. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
Girl's girl.
I'm such a girl's girl.
Yeah.
I love when a woman is basically like doing her own thing. She could be over here and I'm over here doing my thing, and like I peek over and I see what she's doing and I'll be like, okay, I see you.
Right,
and just like the encouragement there because of the culture and society that we're in. It's more so like a dog eat dog type of thing.
Sure.
And you don't see a lot of women supporting other women, especially more so Black women now. But just in totality, you don't see a lot of women like fighting for other women or promoting other women. It's more so like a competition thing, and it's just like this culture pins you against another woman. For what? You get what I'm saying? Sometimes it's for entertainment, which that's a whole nother conversation.
Zeus Network.
But it's just like, I've never been that type of person that I have to pour down another person, especially another woman, my sister, what I'm saying, just to feel better about myself. And I feel like that, you know, if you have to do that, that speaks to like a lack of character, and your own insecurities, you know, and it's just projecting on another person. But I mean, as for me, like I'll always be a girl's girl. Like I'm in the back cheerleading, you know, because like I feel like you should want to see, you know, your sister win. You know, you should want to see anybody win, you know, and it don't just because someone might be doing something better than you or doing something better than you, it doesn't take away from your skill of what you're able to do. They just was probably just blessed to do this in a certain area a little bit better, and then you're blessed in your area to do, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing. So I think women empowerment is very important. Like I said, you never know who's watching you.
You never know.
You have these little girls that has all this access to social media, and it's like beauty whenever you know, beauty standards, whatever it is, and it's just like, if I have little girls or young women, you know, watching me, you know, why not put up that standard? You know, to change the dynamic of the culture and just the society that we're in. Like you don't, and then too, like you don't have to compete for what? You're unique on your own. Like live in that, you know.
I wish more people understood that, and you said so much there, and I 100% agree with you, truly, because I mean it's the wrap, you know, that's the podcast right there. But that I think that that's attributed to your confidence, you know, and partially probably your lived experiences and personal character, you know, because it's a stronger indication of confidence when you're not afraid to lift other people up. I'm the same way with music. Actually, on a previous podcast I did with Gino, we talked about that. We talked about music, and I was highlighting intentionally, I wanted people to hear me say to him that I appreciate the things you can do that I can't. Because that's how we are as singers. I mean, you're a singer too, right? So there's different attributes to everyone's skills that I have gained a certain level of confidence about my own self that I can lift him up. I can appreciate other people's style. And there's guys that I admire their style, to your point, to kind of to relate what you're saying. And I'll never forget, a long time ago in middle school, I was a little insecure back in the day. You know, when you're young, you're kind of always in your head about things. And I always had like that slim frame. And so a lot of my fashion was inspired by Korean, Asian style dressing, you know, not like three-piece suit from like the 70s. Like I wasn't always like traditional suit wear type, but I liked that kind of high fashion, kind of simple look. And so I remember one guy, but it was always interpreted as weird, you know, especially when you're in the urban neighborhoods that you grow up in, like the city. And so I remember this one guy, I was walking in the hall and I saw him, and he asked me for directions, and it was like slow-mo because he's so stylish, head to toe, super tall guy. And I just was like, whoa, like he looked like an embodiment of me. And I just didn't see that often, is my point. So I just remember like kind of fanboying inside, just seeing someone in person that looked like a supermodel and just super stylish. And it didn't make me feel insecure, right? I didn't walk away thinking, oh, he think he better than me. I just like, wow, like he's dressed amazing. So to that point, you know, you're a girl's girl, I'm a guy's guy. I can relate to what you're saying in that instance.
And to your point about like the modest being, you know, boring, I actually like get that question a lot. Well, no, let me back up. Forgive me, not a lot. It's like,
how's the question posed?
It's like, where do you get your clothes from? Or I can't wait to see how you put this together. And I'm just like, really? Because me, it's just fashion is a way to express myself, but because I have to dress modest and I dress a certain way, it challenged me. And I'm the type of woman that challenges provoke me. It's like, I don't know what it is. Challenging things to me, it excites me. So it's like when I started, you know, dressing a certain way, dressing to certain standards, it's like, oh, it's like I want to play with this pattern. I want to see if I can do this. I want to see if I can, the old outfit that I used to wear, how can I make that modest?
And you know, I think part of that is you're an artist. That's what we do. We take things and revamp it. But a lot of people, when they don't have an artistic approach to their being, they kind of just have a situation and have another thing come to the forefront and kind of just take the easy route, you know? So maybe
Yes.
I think that's
And
attributed
the
to that.
easy route is not fun.
Yeah.
That's what makes it boring.
Artists. Yeah. They don't see it that way. I mean, some people really
Yeah.
don't see it that way where, for example, you know, when it comes to men's fashion, like, you know, there's just some guys that don't think when they have, like, you know, most guys are simple creatures, you know what I'm saying? So when they have, you know, they can be satisfied with a little TV. You know those memes where they can be a little TV, an air mattress,
Yeah.
and this. And some people
Extreme
just
minimalist.
yeah, extreme minimalists. Where traditionally speaking, a lot of guys they don't really care for much. But
Yeah.
then you have artistic people that come into the picture where we'll take those little things and we'll add to it and we'll reconfigure it for like, and everything is intentional. Like even your outfits, you know, I'm sure like
Yeah.
it's not, some people don't even understand when it comes to fashion, it's not about matching colors, right? It's often, because I see that a lot where people, I hate to use this phrase, but they think they ate by, it came to my mind, but they think they ate when it comes to fashion, when it comes to just matching colors.
Yeah.
And it's not about that. Sometimes it's about matching textures.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about proportion.
Yeah.
And print, you
And
know
detail.
what I'm saying? Detail. So
accessories,
yes. Which is a thing, you know. So it's just so much, but I think that's where that might be come from. Do you think the artistic side, why that is why it translates to challenge for you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just fashion has always been exciting to me.
Yeah.
It's the thing that I have like gravitated, you know, to the most. And then too, I think it's because of my background as well. Like originally I'm from Southeast DC. So we're like a mini fashion capital. Like everyone like in DC, like it's to the point where like we have our own culture, to the point where it's like the aesthetic is like very loud. It's a pattern. It's even just the lingo, you know, it's just always in your face, like different, like vibrant. Yeah. So, and majority of my family is from like the DMV area. So we always dress to the nines. Like always. And growing up, that was the thing. Like you couldn't come outside. Right. Looking crazy.
Any kind of way.
You could. I don't even care if we was going to the grocery store.
That's that old school stuff.
You could not come out. I don't care if you lived in the projects. I don't care if you was poor. Whatever. You better look together. And so that's one thing that always like stuck with me. Just fashion has always been in my family.
That's good.
But it's exciting.
It is.
It's very exciting.
It is.
I mean, I don't know. And then too, like I'm a person. I don't know. It's like when I step out, it's just, you know, my outfit. You feel good.
Yes,
like I think that's a girl.
Oh, you do.
Is it a girl thing?
No, I don't think so. I think maybe to some people maybe, but not to me. Not to me, because when you look good, you feel good. And
to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Sure.
Yes.
In some cases, it can be a facade. You know, in some cases, it can be a means to, you know, appear a certain way. Where if you're but for me, like. When I get a fresh cut, can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. You know, I mean, I may not come across that way, but I know I look good when I get a good cut.
Yeah.
And I know I look good when I dress nice. And I just know that about myself.
Yeah.
And I know when I have my off days, which is kind of funny because when I first got on Instagram, I would, you know, share pictures and stuff. I'm like, ooh, I cleaned up my whole Instagram because you just don't realize where you are until you those bad. You look back at those pictures and you say, "What was I doing with that hairstyle?
What was I thinking?
What was I thinking?
What was I going through? Who did I stop talking to? Like, why did I do that?"
I'm telling you, you know. So it is something that, you know, we don't all come out the womb fresh. You know, we all kind of the glow up is real sometimes. You know, but for real. So let's jump into these prompts and To that point, do you think fashion in a general sense is more so, I mean, it's so broad, but just from your perspective, do you think people see it in your lived experience as more of a self-expression, like how you're talking about, or social approval, right? Because there are some people out there that may be watching their, you know, having their late night dinner or TV dinners, and they're like, look, this fashion, that ain't what life about. Hey, that ain't important. I go to work. I'm a heart. Like, all right, that's you. But these are artists talking. You know, so if this is not things don't have to matter to you to matter.
Correct.
I want that to be clear to all my viewers, because listen, unsubscribe, dislike this video if you hate what I'm about to say. It doesn't have to matter to you to matter.
Mm-hmm.
It has to matter and have value attached to it, to the individual.
Good point.
That's how this works. Because a lot of people, for example, they live in this echo chamber where it's like, for example, I only listen to Mississippi Mass Choir. I only like them old school stuff because that was where the music was at. All right, that's cool. I'm going to listen to the new stuff. If the new stuff resonates with me, you can't take that away.
Yeah.
If the new stuff is checking all the right boxes, that music is just as valuable as that old school stuff. So my point is that we often live in our own little worlds where if everything is the way it is to me, it has to be like that for you.
Yeah.
So to that point, fashion is something that's important for us.
Correct.
And we have a right to call it that. We have a right to call it important, even if it's not important to you, even if it may not be the end of the world. And we may not, obviously we're not going to die and leave the world with our fashion. But while we exist, the things that matter to us, I believe as artists, matter. So that being said, now that we got that out the way,
yes.
Where do you think people really socially are now? Do you think it's social media has played a hand in people wanting that societal approval of look at how I'm dressed, and I want certain social groups to receive me in their social orbits because of my style? Or do you think that some people really do it for a self-expression, or where's the blurred line in that?
I don't think it's a blurred line. I think that it actually runs together, and I think that the foundation is presentation.
Okay.
When presentation is important, right, in one's mind, you understand that how I perceive myself, other people's going to see that. For instance, right, like I can perceive myself to be confident. I know that I'm confident. Well, if I already know that I'm confident, it's going to exude to the point where other people's going to see it. So if I'm dressed a certain way to be presentable, for an example, when you go to a job interview, you're dressed to the nines.
Yes, you is.
Because of presentation, because you want your presentation to speak louder before you even open your mouth.
That's good.
You get what I'm saying? So before he starts asking you questions, when you walk in the door, that person is like, oh, she's serious. He's serious. He's about business. I can already see that from presentation. So to your point, as far as being approved, we're living in a society where like fashion is being pushed so much that to the point where in schools, if you don't have like certain type of aesthetic, because your presentation is not what they think it should be, then you can't hang with us. And we're living in a society where like we want people approval so much. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as artists go, I do believe it's a self-expression, but I don't believe it's a self-expression to be accepted from other people.
Agreed.
You get what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Like, I think that we just express ourselves because it's just an artistic outlet. And I feel like just by how certain people live their life, they can't express themselves the way that they want to, and they have certain outlets that is cut off.
That's true. Right.
So they find like other outlets, and fashion is like one of the biggest things.
Absolutely.
So I think that it's two just separate things. But do I feel like self-expression is important? Yes. In fashion, yes, because I know for me, I can just speak for me. Like when I'm just feeling it's like a sweat skirt. It's like a hoodie. I put on a beanie, whatever. Like when it's that time of the month and I'm not feeling good, I'm just like, nah. And it shows like through my clothes.
Oh yes, our best fits. It has a backstory.
Yes.
And it has a current mood.
And I'm trying to figure out. When did I get like that? Like, because now that I'm talking about it, it's like, no, I do that. Like I dress for my mood. I mean, I do that.
You're connected to the arts, and the arts is something that's manifested, right? So like if music, right? My best music is my songs come from certain moments. You don't just get up and write hits. You don't just get up and write a beautiful song. You don't get up. I mean, unless it's your job. But even if it's your job, you sometimes can get writer's block, right? So I maybe there's a fashion block that comes in there where when you're just not feeling it. Like some people, even their homes, right? Like their homes are super organized, everything is pristine, looks like a hospital clean, and then they go through a mental, like they just go through like a mental issues, or they're extremely stressed and extremely downcast, and maybe they're slacking in certain things. Maybe there's
Yeah.
more dishes in the sink than they normally are, and maybe things are not as organized. And so I've experienced that in some instances, where you just kind of get off your momentum
Yeah.
because we're connected to our expression,
Yeah.
and I love that for us, because that means we're not fake. I mean, think of it like that, right? Because a lot of people, if what comes to your mind is they got to like how I'm looking when I'm around, I get it, but I would rather feel, on those days you're going out, when you put it on and you look great and you feel great, you did that. Sometimes I do think like, this is gonna be like, this is gonna look good. Like, I'm not always surprised if I get compliments about an outfit, but I am humbled. And I was like, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm walking around like arrogant. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you think I look nice, thanks. I thought so
Yeah.
too. But you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Like you knew what it was when you
yeah,
put that outfit on
right.
your bed before you stepped out.
Listen, you remember, it's hitting when you got the shoes, the this, that. But I
Yes.
mean, do you think that the mood is manifested on those outfits that you're referring to, because you're an artist, right? Because it's like all interconnected.
No,
Do you see what
I definitely agree. I
Yeah.
mean, you explained it like
Yeah.
perfectly. I don't even have to like add anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, now do I feel like when I put on that outfit, like I could just put on all black because
Yeah.
I'm just like whatever.
Right. It's a
I
good.
don't think people be like, oh, she's depressed. She's going through it.
Most times
Like
they be like, "Why you
she's
look so nice?" You're like,
yeah, why she
"Ooh."
look so gloomy? No, I don't
Nah.
think it's perceived like that way,
Oh
from
yeah,
other
totally.
people. But on the flip side
Oh
of
yeah.
me, like yes,
Yeah.
because
No. No.
I'm the person that's in
Right.
it.
Right. I mean, you
Yeah.
can wear a bright yellow, turquoise hat, green, lime blue, or whatever,
And be
but
depressed.
and be depressed,
Yeah.
and sometimes even like I have had days where I dress up to help myself get up emotionally. You know what I'm saying? To that point
Mm.
where I'm like, okay, let's get a good haircut. Let's really try today and step out the door and make sure we're good,
Yeah.
because that's a step. That's a tool for us as fashion enthusiasts to help kind of jumpstart our emotional
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
So to
I've
that
had
point,
those moments.
right?
I've definitely had those
Right.
moments.
Isn't it
Yeah.
beautiful? This is why I expressed to you, like, fashion, it's such a small thing to some people, but for people that it's given to, this is why I'm so emphatic that when you use the gifts God gave you,
Yeah.
it literally is like a therapeutic tool for you through your life.
I never thought about it that way. So, like, do you think the ability to present ourselves well, that's
Mm-hmm.
my professional way of saying it.
Yeah,
Do you really feel like that's a gift?
I
Because I
do.
just really.
I do. I do. The
So
reason,
then let me ask you this
Mhm.
then. Do you think that you could teach someone to dress better than you?
Yeah, yes, you can. Yes.
So you think, Elijah, you think that you actually can teach someone with your skill, with
Yeah.
your fashion, you think that you can teach someone who has no idea.
Yeah.
All they know is sweatpants.
Yeah.
You think that you can teach them to outdress you.
Yes, and
Wow.
there's 2 points. The reason why I'll say that is because if I the way I define outdress, I don't think I think that's a word. I don't know that that's a real word, because
Mm-hmm.
can you outdress a person if how they style is just different than how you style?
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're getting very, very interpretive, I
Yeah.
guess. But if to kind of keep it simple and not go super
Yeah.
deep and philosophical on it, I think so, only because what came to my mind was, well, maybe if I unlock a skill in them by teaching them these things, maybe
Mm-hmm.
I'm unlocking something, because some people's skills are dormant in them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people's gifts are dormant until they explore a thing, and then they realize that this is their thing, or this is a gift they have. Some people don't know their gifts until later on. We
Yeah.
often look at gifts like that God gave you, like, I played keys since I was 3 years old. Like, okay, that's great. But some people, you can't say that's not someone's gift because they haven't manifested it as early as you.
Yeah.
So maybe in this hypothetical, I was thinking, if I did teach somebody, because fashion is not some sort of like superpower, right? It's something you can study and can learn. if you want to, right? But because I wouldn't be dealing with someone that didn't want to. So in this hypothetical, they want to learn, and I'm teaching them. So if they're not a copycat, there has to be something that they're seeing in fashion that I didn't see as a blind spot for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm thinking of it that way, because I'm like,
I disagree.
okay.
I disagree. You know why? Because Elijah's style is unique to Elijah.
Okay.
When Elijah gets up, he's going to put on this sweater and he's going to put on this trench coat.
Yeah.
And he's going to put on these jeans with the hat to the back.
Listen, what she's saying, hold on, is you can try to be like me, but you would never. What? You would never be like the original. All right, I'm done.
But you did it because it's unique to you and it's unique to your feelings.
Natural, yeah.
So you can't teach that.
Yeah.
You can't teach uniqueness.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that person, you know what that person is going to do? That person is going to get up and be like, what would Elijah do? Well, if Elijah was feeling like this, would he wear the turtleneck sweater? Would he wear da-da-da-da? It wouldn't be unique to them. You get what I'm saying?
It'd be like imitation.
Imitation, you know, and fashion is beyond imitation, because we were just talking about like fashion is it's an innate thing, you know, as an artist, you know. So it's like, do I feel like you can teach someone to be
the fundamentals is what I'm
fashionable?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But you cannot teach someone to do something that's an innate
ability. Like originality.
Yeah, you can't teach that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I receive that. I can receive that. That's a good point you make, because it's the framing. So considering the framing that you're talking about, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think if I was to create like a minion of me, that could be possible, right? Where, you know, they have the trench coats and they kind of look like a miniature. Like, oh, I can see that's Elijah's thing, you know, on them. But at the core, if I kind of fell off the earth and they couldn't call me up and ask me if the shoe goes with this, then they will kind of be stumped, you know. Versus maybe just giving them fundamentals of the fashion, like, because there are fundamentals of styling that's why I'm thinking like maybe they'll just take that and curate their own. Yeah,
I mean, you have to be authentic to yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like, I know there's women who like vintage looks.
Love vintage, yeah.
Vintage look is not, I don't like it.
Yeah. Talk about that, please, because a lot of people think that they all want to.
It's not saying that it fits certain women to their personality.
100%.
I'm not a vintage type of woman. I am a rare type of woman. You know,
talk, right?
You know, I'm a rare type of woman, but and my fashion sense is rare to me. You know, it's authentic to me. Like the whole vintage thing, I don't like it. Yeah. You know, not saying that someone else, if I see it on someone else, I'm like, oh.
Some people really do it. Wow.
Gorgeous.
It's like they stepped out of a magazine. Like,
I don't know. You just gotta.
Yeah,
you gotta best for you.
Exactly.
What works for you, and what works for your body frame too. Because I know us women, we go. We're like, oh, my hips are spreading. I can't rock this skirt the way she rocked this skirt. We're like, listen, sis, like, do what's best for you. Do what's best for your body type, and do what feels good to you. You know?
It always serves you better to learn yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And one thing my mom taught me with design is that, you know, she loved the mermaid's skirt. She was a seamstress. She always liked to have like a mermaid type of fit to her skirt, her dresses. And but she would often look at magazines and say like, oh, I'm gonna redesign this, or I'm gonna, you know, this fits her a certain way. Okay, I'm gonna try this, you know. So to that point, you know, whether you're heavy set, whether you're slimmer tone, your body isn't undressable. You know what I'm saying? No woman, in my opinion, no woman is incapable of being undressable, right? There's one lady that has a boutique, I can't remember, but she always something say, you got to be too something to do something. And she would basically, I just admire her work because she lets women that are plus size come in and they're not struggling to find outfits. They're sorted through A lines and this, that, and this, all kinds of styles to figure out what suits their body type the best.
Yeah.
So that they not just look good, but feel good. You know?
Absolutely.
So I love that you're enthusiastic about that, because a lot of people like to tout these kind of conversations for the sake of just saying, oh, support this, or we love that. no, what actions speak louder than words. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we got to make room for everybody. You know. Now, do you think that, kind of on a smaller point, do you think that we often put more effort into sometimes how we present publicly? You know, sometimes like outside of just like feeling good and looking good and having a sense of style, do you think that there's an online pressure to always be top, like always be at your best? I mean, of course you don't want to look like crazy, but
Yeah.
do you think that there's like a pressure to appeal to the online, like?
I feel like it depends on what your occupation is, and I feel like it's
Okay.
what you do. I feel like just going off of what's going on today,
Yeah.
like influencers are always to the nines.
Yeah.
If you're in the music industry, if you're in the fashion industry, you know, again, presentation, you know, says a lot. Like you have to be on top of the top of the top, you know, all the time. And then, you know, they might not say it, but in their head, they're competing.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's the competition.
Yeah.
You know, so it just depends on who you are. I know for me, no.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Absolutely.
I will post a picture.
Right.
Hoodie.
Yeah.
Sweat skirt.
Yeah.
You know, beanie, whatever.
Right.
And just call it a day, because it's like, who am I trying to impress?
Yeah. I feel that.
You know.
And it's funny, you know. I was to your point. I was thinking the other day that I forgot who it was, and I hope you watch this, because you know I don't really, like I said earlier, I don't really care about who's watching. That may feel like an arrow, but somebody had mentioned how they saw, like, you know, a glow up that I guess I had online.
Oh, really?
Which is great, because obviously, you know, thanks, I guess.
They saw a distinct change.
Yeah, a distinct change. And to me, I was just like, I did see a change. Anyway, my point is that what's funny is I think it's a rare skill to see people's beauty kind of in any kind of light. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that, in my mind, I'm like, wow, this person's really beautiful. This person has like a really nice, it's like subtle things that you can see beyond. Like, my point is like, some people really think, I need all the filters, all of this, all of that. I need to have the best shots, the best photographer, the best this, best this, to get the likes, to get the views, and to get the validation. And then some people also, on the flip side, on the receiving end, think they evaluate people's beauty based upon those things that they're doing, versus sometimes those off the fly shots that are not that impressive to you or to other people. You're still photogenic. You're still, you know, dressed nice. I guess my point is like, have you noticed that, where maybe, have you ever like seen someone share photos or of their style or of themselves, and it's not like in the most professional sense, but you can kind of tell, oh, they got it going on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so let me answer it this way.
Yeah.
A woman can take a picture, weave down, eyebrows down, face beat down, outfit down,
right,
body 8 down, body is T, shoe game is on point,
Diana Ross,
but she still look ugly. Right? Versus a woman who standing outside her building, chilling. She might got a t-shirt dress on, you know, natural hair, whatever, you know, she might got twists in her hair, whatever it is, with some flats, slides on, and she looks 8 times better than the other woman. But it wasn't so much as the surface. It was the inner glow.
The inner glow.
And when you are living in authenticity.
Authenticity.
You're
good. That one is like a train wreck. Yeah.
When you're just like, you're peaceful.
Right.
You know,
it shows.
When you're happy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need all the outside things.
Yes.
You just show up as you.
Yep. Come on.
And people can see that through you, and you're not even trying.
Yes.
Like, you're not, you get what I'm saying? Because you're so happy with yourself. And it just comes out with no filter on the picture.
Yeah.
Versus the one who has all of these filters, who have all of these things, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you're like, you look crazy.
Yeah.
It deems because of the inner piece, like it's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that, to your point, like with validation, a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that with the filters, just for validation, and you can see that within them.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, like, well, why they not saying, she look good and da da da, because other people can see what that person can't.
That's good.
What was meant to come out in the picture, it didn't.
Right.
Because
everybody's not shallow. Some of us,
but it's just like that inner glow wasn't there.
I like that, the inner glow. That is deep, and not to kind of rain on your parade, but a lot of people don't have the perception ability. To be honest, a lot of people don't have the ability to perceive inner glow. Yeah. And that is a testament, because I have seen a lot. I mean, and it's not to say filters and stuff is fun. Like from a photographer standpoint, there's all. That's a side. When it comes to these conversations, you always got to be balanced, because when you make one point, you got somebody who says, well, what about this? So just make sure we're clear. Yeah. Filters, Photoshop, edits, it serves its place in time.
Yeah, I use them a couple.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Yeah. But I don't overdo it, because for what?
Yeah. That's my point. You're going to look like Frankenstein by the time you're done. But, but to that point, I agree with you. I think that, it is a rare thing to come across, and sometimes when I'm on Instagram, I just appreciate that. Sometimes I love a smiler. I'm a smiler.
Really?
I do. The reason why I do is because, yes, every smile is not real. Yes, there's sometimes a lot of hurt behind the smile. Yeah. Plenty of hurt behind my smiles a lot of times, but I'm still a genuine smiler. I'm not smiling to smile. It's my natural disposition. So when I see people that smile a lot, I love that for them. Primarily because, not that you have to smile to be better than nobody. I'm just saying there is a pushed effort to appear mysterious and stuff. And maybe you disagree on this, but I don't subscribe to that. I understand where it comes from. There's a mystique that people like, and I get it. It's good to kind of have this exclusive kind of approach when it comes to presenting online, but I think we gotta let people in the club that's also just genuinely exuding jovialness, and
jovial, always like that word.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
About that angle,
I made an expression. Sure. Because it's like, I know people tell me to smile more.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and the fact that you're a genuine, smiling type of person, it's like,
it's too exciting. It's exhausting.
How do you so you just?
Let's talk about
that. You just walk around smiling, because I can't. I have this resting face.
Yeah, you do.
But
you do, but I mean, some people with different.
I just have a resting face, and it's like the comments that I get. Oh, she's so mean. Oh, she's like stuck up, and she's like to her, and I'm just. No, that's my natural face.
You're not the only
one. I can't help that. Now when I'm not gonna walk around like. No, I'm not gonna do that, because that's just not natural to me. Exactly. Like, that's fake,
I agree.
But for people who genuinely smile, I'm like,
but it's, to your point, I feel like it's a balance that has to be had. Like, if you were not a friendly person, I would have picked up on that. But just because I see what people are referring to, not the crazy stuff, because people that are like, you're mean, those are people that judge people just based upon what they see.
Yes.
So like me, for example, I'm dealt with like that by a lot of my viewers that support or don't support me, pretty much. People that are supportive. There are people that see me, see my mannerisms, see the way I dress, see the way I look, and they assume this, they think that, they probably don't, some people probably think I'm mean, or probably think I'm stuck. I've been told that someone thought that I was arrogant, and I was like, huh? So I don't even come across that way to most people that know me. But my point is, you can't control perception. Perception is more powerful than reality, unfortunately, in a modern day. But to your point, I think it shines through when you're not stupid. When you're not stupid, you don't see someone like you and think she must be arrogant, she must be stuck up. You think first, I'm curious to get to know her. That's probably what you would want to think if you see a person. But there's nothing wrong with being stoic naturally. I mean, that's not that you're stoic, because I don't think you're like a mean looking person walking around. But I mean, I think that's just a maturity thing. I think it's a maturity thing where people are not used to. People are stuck at like a kindergarten level. It's like, well, if you have Legos and I have Legos, we should play together. It's like, okay, calm down. Like everybody is not gonna play Legos with you, and that's okay.
Good point.
Yeah, you
Good
know,
point.
it's like it's just I've been in the studio with people, with engineers and stuff, and their energy is not like mine. And for me it works a lot better when I am with collaborating with people that I at least click with at some point beyond the surface, because then now I'm not uncomfortable. Like I'm a laugher, so if something is funny to me, people like me get in our head a lot about things. So if I'm laughing at something, I'm worried, like I hope they don't think I'm cringy. So it's like sometimes you get in your head like that, you know.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's just on their part, it's a level of maturity to not, you know, I mean, they're blocking their blessings. And if there's any guys out there that is thinking that, which probably has been a case in some scenario where some guy probably thought you were beautiful and stood away because he's scared of, I've had sisters like that where they've intimidated guys away outside of their own control.
Outside of the control is Fendi facts. It's Fendi facts. It's crazy that you brought that up, because I get that a lot. Like I've had people tell me, like you're like they think you're intimidating. That's why they don't come talk to you. Yeah. Because you're so intimidating. I'm like, why? Because I walked in the room.
Yeah, nah.
All I did was walk in the room. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like all I did was walk in the room and sit down.
Well, you know, can I add this too?
Yeah.
I'll be very, very, very straightforward.
Be very transparent.
And we're gonna tastefully, obviously, be straightforward. But you are a beautiful lady, you know. Thank you. There are a lot of guys that I'm sure they're intimidated. I agree. All my sisters. The reason I can say this is because I always brag. My sisters are some beautiful girls, and I've seen how guys act, you know, on the youngest. And so there a lot of guys.
The youngest?
Yeah.
Wow.
The youngest, the only boy, youngest. And so I've been confused for my mother's husband, my sister's boyfriend. You know, that's what happens when you're around girls and people don't know. Anyway, but so my point is, a lot of guys usually, I think, when they don't think that you'll see them as up to your level, they don't want to risk the embarrassment, so they just kind of back off. Usually that's the case. Usually it is either all the guys are probably going after her, so who am I? And then it's usually things like, you know, she's probably way out of my league and stuff like that, especially if they think a girl, she got her money, she got her bag together and all that stuff. So there's so many elements of this, and you know, I can't speak for every guy out there, obviously, but my point is like, those are real things that don't just stop whether you're in church or not. You know what I mean?
And that's so sad.
It is.
Because I wish guys understood confidence more. You know,
they'll be taught that too.
Listen, I don't feel. Can you feel like a man can be taught confidence? Because I feel like it's one of those things that it's an innate type of thing. Like it's either you got it or you don't.
I don't think so. No, I think some have it earlier but nobody is who they are without being taught from somewhere. Because you are a compilation of lived experiences.
Oh, I disagree.
No,
I disagree. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. I'm gonna give you an example, right? So I'm a very outgoing person.
Sure.
I'm a very direct, say what it is type of person, respectful.
Right.
But my personality, like I can walk into any store and I can see a woman just like sitting down. I would literally go over to her and say, your bag is cute.
Right.
And she's like, you know, it's in me. Sure. You get what I'm saying? And also too, it's just my environment. I'm not raised around. I wasn't raised around shy people.
So you're proving my point, though, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't taught though.
So well, now you have to change your definition of taught.
Okay.
Something doesn't have to be something. You don't have to be a direct student of it, but proximity is key. So there are things I was taught that no one spoke to me about. No one guided me and gave me a manual on it, and just by observation, I learned and picked up certain things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you really are a product of your environment. In that instance, where in your environment, if you had soaked in what it looked like for people to do the things you're talking about, it's going to manifest. Like,
I don't think I picked up my personality though.
well, attributes of it, you're being like being sociable. You didn't see that growing up. People in your orbit, people being sociable, and because that's what you were just saying, right?
Yeah, no, I don't.
You may not remember, but these are subconscious things that can go into your mind.
Maybe, I don't know. I just think that's just how I am.
No,
Like
it has to be because I mean because okay, if we are not a compilation of subconscious lessons and direct lessons that we've learned, well, how do you don't just be, right? So like if you were born on another island among native indigenous people that don't have like a modern society that they're around, maybe they're just still hunters and they live in tribal type of environments, you may possess different qualities of your character than say in a modern city. So my point is like you're molded by visual, audio, the things you hear, the things you smell, the sensations that you pick up, whether they're tangible or not. So that's what I'm saying. Like along the line, like we're not doing this on camera, but I can break down to you my reflection of my past and why I am like the way I am, and what I have reflected on. I'm like, oh, this has contributed to my approach to this. This is how this has contributed to my personality.
And I promise you can't do that with every single thing. You know why? Because your makeup is your makeup. Your DNA makeup is just.
So you think makeup. It's like a God-given certain things God just makes you a certain way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that because I mean everybody, you can have a bunch of siblings under one roof and everybody comes out differently. So I mean that's a real argument to be made. But I do think a lot of who we are is a contribution of not just our home, but or just whatever the sense of that is, but is also our interpretation of it. So like some people, they interpret love from growing up from strict parents as that's how you love me, by like tell me what to do, you know, that's their interpretation. But some people growing up under that same kind of house, they interpret love like I don't want that, like I want you to be kind to me, and so it's like a lot of parents struggle to realize that as well, where it's like you are parenting the child, but have you ever asked yourself, how does the child receiving your parenting? Yeah. What prism are they experiencing this from? Yeah. Because you may thinking, oh, I'm doing this because I love you, and in their mind they're like, well, this is love. And then another child is like, I believe you, I understand what you're saying, you know? Yeah. So it's like you got to know the prism of what you're living through life from, you know? I
agree.
But I definitely
I see your point. Yeah, I see your point. I think this is the difference in opinion that I was talking about.
Totally,
which is good.
It is good. It is good. You know, I'm curious too. Social norms. You know, like I know you had mentioned Did you mention you wanted to talk about social norms? Because I remember we were both. We're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that because we did talk about that a little bit, but we're gonna skip that and talk about alpha male and just
that should be a juicy one.
Yeah, that is, because and I'm curious about that because I don't walk, you know, I don't walk around, I don't call myself no alpha male. I mean, calling yourself an alpha male walking around is crazy. Just walking around, yeah, I'm an alpha male. Like yeah, the men I knew growing up, they never called themselves that. They just existed and did the things they did, and here we are, right? Yeah. So I mean, what do you hear when you think it's referring to leadership? What do you think of when you hear alpha males? Or
when I think of alpha male, I immediately see my father, my biological father. Mm-hmm. When my father walked into a room, like you knew it. He didn't have to say nothing. He didn't have to look at you. He didn't have to tell you he was coming. He didn't have to call you and be like, listen, I'm about to be at location A. Mm-hmm. You know, make sure. No, like when he showed up, it was that. It was his aura was so strong. Literally, like I don't feel like words would match it. You know? Yeah. So again, it just goes back to that innate thing. Like I think when you're quote unquote perceived as an alpha male, it's like the leader of the pack. But you never hear a leader of the pack saying, I'm the leader of the
Right,
pack.
right.
The leader of the pack just walk in the room and you know what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So to your point, like, again, like you said, people just don't walk around, I'm an alpha male, you know?
No, these podcast fellas be tripping.
But just as to like what it is, I just feel like I don't want to say dominance, because when you say dominance, it's just like, what are you dominating?
Right.
So I don't want to say, like, I don't want to say like a dominant male. I just think that an alpha male is a perception. I think it's it's all about like how you perceive it. But for me, I know that just an alpha male is just a man who knows that he's a man and he's exude that, and he's a man in all levels. And he's a man who can take care of business of all levels without saying it. And when a woman knows when she's in the presence of a man, she knows that, because it's just the respect is there, you know, without him having to say anything. I feel like alpha men, they lead, but then they also lead in their actions too. It's not a lot of words that's given, you know. With the alpha, they show up and do.
Commit to things. And so it really sounds like from your characterization that it's a compilation of characteristics and forms of discipline. You know, I think in a way we should all strive to kind of be, maybe I'm saying this wrong and don't hold it to me, maybe alphas of our own personal identities, you know, because like when I think of alpha, that's what I think too. I mean, I know what people online are saying as far as alpha. They think 6 figures, in the gym 9 days out the week, can pay all the bill. Like they just kind of dumb down alpha to those types of things.
No, I think being an alpha male is more intangible. Being an alpha male is showing up in ways that other men can't. More so like when you think about it, like in this culture, right? When you ask a man, you know, when are you ready to get married? Like, or when you define that you're ready to get married? How do you know you're ready to be a husband, not just wanting a wife? You get what I'm saying? The first thing they'll say is, "Oh, the money. I gotta have the money. I gotta have a house.
Gotta get my bread up."
But you, it's rare. It's rare that you would ever hear a man say, "I want to show up as a leader to my wife. I want to show up as the give her emotional stability, mental, you know, be there and be able to stimulate her emotionally, mentally, and support her spiritually as well. I want to be able to not only lead the relationship spiritually, but I also want to lead the relationship in a healthy manner. I can also lead her in a healthy relationship." You don't hear men saying that. And I feel like in my mind, it's just in my perspective, like when you're saying you're an alpha male, like you're saying that you're above all. You're saying that you can give.
It's a crab in a barrel.
You get what I'm saying? Like you're saying I'm above standard is what you're saying. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
And an alpha male has the actions to back it up.
And to your point, what you were describing on alpha male, I think that sense of vulnerability and bounce back, you know, as far as like knowing that, you know, it's not about being flawless. It's about having a grip on your personal identity. You know what I'm saying? Knowing who you are and being solid in that, and knowing that it's okay to fall down, make a mistake and get back up, and all the attributes of being, as well as what you're talking about as far as not being a facilitator of confusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If I can put it that way.
Yes.
You know, so it's things like that where, to your point, when, you know, there's some people that when you ask them like simple things like, well, why do you love her? Oh, well, you know, face card, you know, that face card, bruh. That face card.
It's the tangible things. That's my thing. It's the tangible things. But no one sits down and discuss intangible.
Right.
No one discuss having a generous heart. No one discuss being selfless. No one discusses or exudes or say like, listen, I'm gonna show up for you and I don't want nothing back from you.
And you know, and you're spot on. And it came to my mind when you said that they haven't even faced it with themselves. And I think that's why. I think I always tell my sister friends,
Sister friends, I say that with
you
my
do?
friends too.
Yeah, my sister friends, like I tell them all the time, if a guy cannot be a good friend to his brother
Yeah.
or whatever, he'll never be good enough for you. He can't. You cannot be a poor friend and be a decent boyfriend, or not, I guess not boyfriend, but whatever you want to call yourself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? How can you? How can you? Romance and platonic is here. Romance is a little upgrade from platonic relationships.
Yeah.
If you can't even do the platonic things,
Yeah.
why are you adding romance to the dynamic? So that's my point, is like,
Yeah.
see, all those things you mentioned is absolutely well said, but if you can't even show up and treat your friends like they mean, like you care about their heart, you care about the things that matter to them, you don't do, like, if you can't even text your friends back, how are you going to text a girl back in a relationship? How are you going to text you back? How are you going to communicate to you where he's at, or what's going on, or what his goals are? And you in a friendship with people, and you don't even know your friends. You don't even know the person. You don't even know how to express yourself. You don't know how to draw boundaries with friends. You just kind of all over the place. You're not reliable as a friend. How are you gonna be reliable in a relationship? So I think I think if we can like work on the friend, at least being a good friend,
Yeah.
then we can maybe those guys can find those qualities. And when they're asked those questions, they'll think of the deeper things than just the face card or
I
whatever.
think that a lot of guys are just transactional.
Yeah, I can see that.
Again, like, and I'm not a man hater for the people. I'm not a man hater. It's just that through experiences and just where we are in life as far as people,
Yeah.
it is very, very rare.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very rare to find people with a generous heart who's not transactional. Again,
conditional.
who's doing things that's like, listen, I genuinely care about you as a friend, right? We're just sticking with friends. I genuinely care about if you ate today.
Right.
I want to give you some food because I genuinely care that you ate today. And when I give you this food, I'm good if you say thank you.
Yeah, even compliments. A lot of people don't give compliments just because anymore. It's like, well, you ain't, you supposed to,
Yeah, and it's just like
entitlement.
even with guys, it's just like, I'm saying this to her because I want something from her.
Right, that's my point. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's just how guys are. I'm not saying all guys.
A lot of guys. Yeah, these are real conversations.
I'm not saying all guys, but I'm saying,
yeah, this is real life.
Just real life, through experience, and I'm trying to figure out like was your character stumped at what age, or are you stuck? Like if you look at a hotel building, right? You have 23 floors, whatever type of floors, right? But just hypothetically speaking, let's just say you have a hotel building of 23 floors, and you know how someone get on the elevator and they might make it all the way up to the 11th floor and they're just stuck. I feel like when I'm visualizing what's going on within the society with men, I feel like they're stuck on the 11th floor and they just can't develop emotionally. They can't develop mentally, social. Like, it's like, what is it that's causing you to be so stuck to the point where you can't give in the capacity that you want to give, or give to the woman that you're interested in, or in a relationship with, or friendship, whatever it is? Like, what is it that you just can't get past it to love to the capacity, or even have the understanding of love the way that you need it to be, to the capacity to give to this particular woman?
Yeah, and that is a question I'm sure your ancestors are also would ask too if they were still here. But I think, my personal diagnosis is emotional intelligence is looked at as not a masculine trait by a lot of men, particularly in America. Let's just kind of stick to that demographic.
Okay.
Because
I agree.
I think I had this conversation. I often have to convince some of my friends and kind of school them on this, because they don't really know much about how the world is outside of their own streets, but I think for me growing up, because I grew up with a lot of women, and a lot of guys that I knew grew up with a lot of women, they also had this similar mentality where they understood if a lady is like, or if a woman or a sister or a friend of yours, whatever, is complaining about an issue, she's not being emotional in this instance. This is a real thing. You got to hear past, because some guys will hear this and hear it as, oh, she's being nagging, or she's being annoying, or she's being, but not all the, like, yes, like there are just certain things that people do traditionally that may be kind of consistent with stereotype, but at the same time, if you listen to what a person is saying, there's something there, and I think that, again, we're in a society at large that diminishes that, and a lot of guys, in my experience, their concern is, how are other guys seeing me versus how should I be treating maybe the lady I'm with, what I'm saying? And we don't talk about that a lot, where guys do a lot to impress other guys. Working out, for example, not that it's bad, obviously, I'm just making an example that there is a large percentage of guys that want to get buff, ironically, not to impress girls, but to get the validation from other guys, or like just be like, oh, it's just, sticking our chest out at each other. So I think a lot of men need to probably deal with that and kind of do the self thing, where it's like, they have a phrase called simp, right? Where the guys started circulating among each other. Do you know what a simp is?
I do.
Okay, yeah. So it's like things like that. Like I was called as a kid. I was always taught as a young boy, be a gentleman.
Yeah.
And so back in the day, I was called, oh, you're a ladies' man, or why you? It's because I was raised with women that taught me, this is how you deal with ladies. So it's like in a modern day, though, it's the tables have turned and the traditional roles have changed and whatnot. But it's just so many layers to that, and we're not going to get into all of it.
I know, because there's so much that I could say.
Yeah, so much.
It's so much. I could really dig, really dig. But what I will say is, because I know your man followers is probably like,
I know they're probably like, I'm waiting for some other podcast.
Like, oh, here she go. No, when you said like the emotional part, the emotional availability and the emotional intelligence, what I will say is, if you don't take care of your past traumas, if you don't take a step back to humble yourself and maybe see that you are internally broken because you haven't dealt with past issues and your insecurities as a man, and take the pride out of it, I will say it will hinder a lot of relationships. And then you will wake up to yourself with a box of cereal and a half carton of milk.
Yeah, that's good. It's hard work. It is.
And that's another thing. See, you got me going. It's another thing, the work. In this society, people don't want to put the work in.
Yeah.
It's the instant gratification that people want, even with themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't even be patient with yourself to be the best version of yourself, but you expect me to come into your life to be the best version of myself to you. How selfish can you be?
Yeah, that is true. You kind of want your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
And
it just speaks to the selfishness. I just feel like, and again, not all people.
We're gonna address that because I got you.
Yeah, not all people, but it's just, again, like, people are not just generous. I feel like it's a dog eat dog world, like I mentioned in the beginning. People are all out for themselves and all out for gratification for themselves, and it's like, I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
And then now you wonder why women is around, like, shattered. Not all women are mentally stable and strong enough to pick themselves back up from pouring in too much to a person who took so much from them.
Yeah.